Hey there, my name is Wandila Rose, and I'm
I'm
sick.
sick.
Well, I was sick earlier this week. I kind of lost my voice, kind of felt cool about it. But yeah, I'm much better now. My voice is almost all the way back. So let's hope this video is not a mess. Anyway, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a time lapse video, and we'll be talking about the ego. Over the past couple of weeks, I have been thinking a lot about and been dealing with the ego, specifically my ego, and it has been so uncomfortable. I do not like it, but it's necessary. Still going through it, so it is what it is, right? Before we get into it, though, let's start with the definition of the ego. According to Google, ego is a person's sense of self esteem or self importance. So basically, where the self lies is where the ego dwells. And everyone has an ego. I have an ego. You have an ego. Check under your seat, there's an ego. Shout out to Oprah. The problem lies when you do not regulate your ego, when it's not balanced, when your pring krong is not level, and it shows up in your life. Because the ego can affect the way you make decisions, it can affect the way you view people, the way you view yourself. I realized that I often let my ego determine my mood. And that is triggered by me constantly being in the past, in my mind, thinking about things I've said to people, things people have said to me, the way I've handled situations, the way people have treated me. Do you not know who I am? When you're within your ego, you're always in fight mode. You are frustrated with the past, frustrated with the possibilities of the future, and yet you can't even predict them. And you're just stuck in your head. You're stuck in your emotions that have no logical basis. And that's not a good attitude to have, because essentially, the ego can make you feel so bad, so miserable. It's like that meme. I don't want peace. I want problems always. That's the freaking ego. And it's so important to let go of that, because personally, constantly being in my ego made it difficult for me to be present, for me to enjoy where I am in life. It's made it difficult for me to accept where I am in life, to accept the decisions I've made, to accept my reality. I think another issue is sometimes we identify with the ego, which is a shame because it is not who you are. I said it because I believe it's good to separate the ego from the sense of self, and furthermore to separate from the sense of self, because you are not your mind. But I guess that would be a topic for another day. I realized that in me constantly being in my ego, I almost feel annoyed or irritated with the way things are not working out the way I would want them to. People are not communicating with me the way I would want them to. And you can't control life. You can't control the way things happen in your life. The ego, as much as yes, it can help with your self-esteem and your self-importance, it can also lead to arrogance. It can also lead to unhealthy delusion. I've noticed online, people like to talk about being in their delusional era. And to a certain degree, it's cute. But at the same time, we need to be cautious, because that is basically inflating the ego even more. And yet it would be more practical for a person to walk this life separating themselves from the ego. It decreases the possibilities of you taking things personally, and just understanding that people make decisions that they do, whether it affects you or not, because of their own projections and stuff, not because of you. I made the painting dark because I wanted to show that uneasiness or discomfort when it comes to trying to face yourself and let go of the ego. I would say it's in your mind, right? So that's why the light is shining and she's covering her face, because she knows it's time to let go of it. Perhaps she's not ready. Flowers essentially are beautiful, right? They're delicate, they're soft, they're pretty. There are also flowers in the background to show that it's not necessarily a horrible experience. It can be uncomfortable, but it can also be a beautiful one. In letting go of what you thought was true and real to you, you are opening up to what really is true and real to you. And it's positive, it's happier, it's like the colors of, I don't know, a sunset. It's beautiful. It's not gloomy anymore. And I do hope that this message resonates and that we as people try to let go of that ego, because yes, it can be great to inflate that sense of self, but it's not good to identify with that, because we are not our emotions, we are not our minds, we are not all of these elements around us. And I choose to view that as a freeing experience. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video.